after that final whistle went at Craven Cottage. It did end Fulham 1, Leeds United 0. And I don't know about you folks, I'm absolutely still gutted. I can't believe it. Are Leeds United in trouble, or is it too early to be calling that? All right, guys, what's going on? My name is Ollie Ward. Welcome back to the Ollie Ward channel. This match reaction has come a little bit later than usual. I normally do it 5 minutes after the game has finished, but I was working today and I saw the goal go in late at work. And yeah, from then, my whole sort of body just shut down. I was absolutely fuming because them games you just have to see out, and it's disappointing. Before we get into it, you guys know what to do. Be sure to smash that like button. Sorry I haven't posted too much over the international break. Leeds United are back now for the next few weeks until the other international break. But be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and get your comments in from today. I'm not sure how well this is going to do a few hours after the game is finished, but either way, show your support. That'd be really highly appreciated. But today, Leeds United played all right. Let's be completely honest. Leeds played all right. It was a solid sort of defensive display away from home. And Farke has always said, if you pick up a point away from home and then, 3 points, or try and get 3 points at home, you will be okay. That worked in the Championship, and hopefully, obviously, it would work in the Premier League as well. But when you leave that game, losing 1-0, own goal in the 94th minute, it feels an absolute sucker punch. It feels like a blow. And suddenly, Leeds fans start to think, are Leeds United in trouble? The positives to take today. There was a lot of positives in the sense of the structure, the defensive line, the midfield three of Ampadu. You knew when Ampadu was fit, he comes straight back into this Daniel Farke side. Farke loves him in there, not just for his ability on the ball and on the pitch. It's the voice as well. You need a captain on the field, and I don't think Gruev done terribly at all against Newcastle. So it was a bit of a call to make, and yeah, you bring in Ampadu, of course you do, but yeah. Solid there. The front line, Okafor, I thought played all right. Brendan Aronson was an odd one to start with. It really was an odd one to start with. I think he was a nonto away from a perfect lineup today, Daniel Farke. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a few chances, but that front line has no fire at all. XG absolutely on the ground. We've scored, we haven't scored, I don't think we've scored any goals from open play, have we? Have we even scored a goal from open play this year? I think the one goal we've scored has come from that penalty against Everton on the opening day. Then we lost 5-0, then 0-0, then yeah. Not good enough, and the 49ers need to know that. And I think what we should all reflect on is that it will always come down to the 49ers not buying a striker or a number 10 or a creative player, at least one. We needed two, but at least one for Daniel Farke on transfer deadline day. And I feel sorry for Daniel Farke. He's not full on, getting away with it. I still think some of the substitutes are a bit too late. Sometimes actually when he brings on the subs, when you've got Nonto sitting there, and he brings on Harrison. I think there's this weird thing that he thinks Harrison and Aronson defend better than Nonto, James. I just think all them players can defend, and they can defend well. And it's not really a massive criticism towards Jack Harrison, but I'm thinking, why is Nonto fourth in the pecking order to come on? I really don't get that. For me, he should have been starting, but according to Daniel Farke, he's not even ahead of Brendan Aronson, Okafor, which is fair enough, Dan James and Jack Harrison, which I think Nonto should be. But no fire and power in Calvert-Lewin or Metcher either. It's a thing where they play very similar styles of football. We don't really have that different sort of striker, and I don't know if this lone striker's working in the Premier League. If we come away from that game and it ended 0-0 at Craven Cottage, you'd say we still need to score goals, but it's not a bad point. But the fact we've lost it, and Gabriel Gudmundsson, listen, I feel awful for him because he actually had a really, really good game. He kept Harry Wilson, he kept Traore quiet when he came on as well. He had a very, very good game, but unfortunately, I still have watched it back about 3 or 4 times. No clue what he's trying to do with that, and it goes into the back of the net after Karl Darlow made a brilliant save. Before that, Karl Darlow was probably man of the match. I thought the defensive line was very good up until that goal, but does this put Leeds United in a bit of trouble? The only saving grace is obviously we're only 4 games in. Anything could happen. You're not as bad as Wolves. If you look, they've got, they've played 4 games. They've got 0 points. They're foot at the table. And that makes that game at Molineux next week huge. Already 5 games in, Wolves versus Leeds. And that's going to be a big one. But today was disappointing in a lot of senses. I haven't felt like this in a long time. You lose against Arsenal. You hold your hands up. You get a nice point against Newcastle. Fair play. This one is just a sucker punch. It's gut-wrenching. It's one of them where I've genuinely felt deflated since that last goal went in. I don't know how anyone else is feeling right now, but I've genuinely just felt just so I don't know. And it's nothing to do with actually how terrible we played. And Farke's come out and said, it's a cruel game sometimes, but the attacking threat still wasn't there. People are criticizing Farke's decisions, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. Today, I didn't watch it too much. I was in and out. I was trying to work while also watching it as well. But in spells, we looked good. We looked the better side, especially in the first half. Fulham came into it a bit more in the second half. But I just think overall, it's just disappointing. I really still can't believe it. I can't believe what I watched in the end and just how it went in. It was horrible. And I think a lot of these things come down to if we had a striker, if we had a number 10, if we had something a bit different, would Leeds United have seen that game out? I mean, Okafor does look good. He still didn't, do enough today to obviously get that breakthrough goal or anything. But that Wolves game suddenly turned massive. It really, really has. But overall today, thought Karl Darlow was brilliant, stepping in for Lucas Perry, who, has kept 2 clean sheets in fairness to him, but including myself, I've been quite critical of him. I think that, he has made mistakes. He doesn't look brilliant distribution. Karl Darlow's coming. He's looked good. Karl Darlow obviously does have a mistake in him as well. Jayden Bogle, brilliant. Joe Rodon, Pascal Jacoby still on the bench. Understandable. He didn't look brilliant against Sheffield Wednesday, but he wasn't here to sit on the bench. I thought he was going to come in and get first team football. But unfortunately, Pascal and Joe Rodon have looked all right. Gudmundsson had annoyingly another good game. I had him in my FPL team as well, so that's a bit disappointing. He had 9 points at one point in the 93rd minute, and then he ended with 0 points, so that's disappointing. The midfield 3 I really like, Stack, Longstaff, and Ampadu. I think you've got to always play them 3. I really, really like them 3. But then when does Tanaka get him? I really like Longstaff. I think Longstaff's a brilliant Premier League player. I think Stack's quality, and I like Ampadu. It's a difficult one to try and get all of them in fairness, when Tanaka's fit, obviously. And then the front liners, that's where all the problems have come with Leeds United. Lowest XG, lowest shots on target, haven't even scored a goal from open play yet. It's worrying. It really is worrying for Leeds in the league. That is, it's worrying for Leeds United that that we've hung our hats on Calvert-Lewin and Metcher and Pirro to score our goals this season. If that was any other club, would you be looking at them thinking they're a threat? I don't think you would, really. And then you see Sunderland, who's supposed to be up there, promotion rivals with us, and it shows that they've spent money, and they're currently sitting 7th in the table. Obviously, it's early days. They've gone to Crystal Palace and got a point there. They've seen out the game. They've had some big wins as well. They've had 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, and Burnley have got Liverpool tomorrow. That'll just be, if they can get anything from that game, quality for them. But yeah, it's one of them. It's still very early days. And yeah, it's still early days, and there's not too much to be throwing your toys out the pram yet, but it's gutting. It is very gutting, and it's very annoying that Leeds United didn't get anything from that game. But I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. I want to see how this video does. Not too sure because it's a couple of hours after final whistle. Obviously, there's some football tonight as well. So if you could just drop a like and subscribe and get all your comments in, that would be really highly appreciated. I will be, replying to all your comments. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm still gutted. I've been Ollie Ward. You guys have been excellent. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheery. Oh.